Hello everyone and welcome back to WAW Product Review, and with only a week until Christmas, I got you covered for those last minute Christmas shoppings, and these are the kits that I highly recommend to put under the tree for your little ones, ranging from Pokemon, Star Wars, and even from several anime series. These are going to be very fun, easy kits, and overall have a really good time and have something really cool for them to build during the holiday weekend. So without further ado, let's roll intro and take a look into these kits for this holiday season. Alright everyone, let's go plus ultra with this first model kit that we have. We have Deku Midoriya from Bandai. This is a very good entry level kit. So let's take a look and see what all makes this kit. As you can see, Bandai has done a very good job making these parts into the general area and the colors that it needs to be to get a general satisfaction for these model kits. Starting on runner A1, we have the assemblies for the arms and torso, eyes, and a part of the armor piece for his costume, along with his shoulder straps. Again, on A2, we have his lower half, which is in two pieces, his belts, the top of his boots. We also have his face and neck portion. Now moving on to B1. This is the section where his hair is made. Moving on to B2. This is the last portion where we find the boots, his hands, legs, and other portions that finish off the legs. We also come with a cool sticker set that gives us a little bit more detail for his straps, mouth guard, and other added detail. We also have a bit of water slide or stickers that can go for his eyes to give it a little bit more dynamic look. We also have the instruction manual, which gives us a really good step-by-step look at how the assembly of this model goes. Again, Bandai does a really good job with these kits to give you step-by-step on how to assemble each portion of the model. This was a really good entry-level kit by Bandai. This only has 38 parts, making it a very simple and non-complicated model, especially with it having stickers where you don't have to paint anything, and the parts easily pop out, not requiring any tweezers whatsoever. So this is a very good entry-level kit for anyone that's a huge anime fan of the series, or anyone that wants to start getting into plastic models. Next up, we have the Prince of All Stands in his most ultimate form. We have Vegeta in his Super Saiyan God mode, and this is, again, just like the My Hero Academia kit, very simple kit. So let's take a look inside this model. Alright, as we can see on the inside of this, Bandai has done another phenomenal job with its colored parts, making this a very easy assembly without requiring any paints or any added detail. Now looking at runner A1, we have Vegeta's iconic Super Saiyan blue hair, which comprises of 5 individual pieces, with one comprising of his eyebrows and eyes. Additionally, we have the assembly for his iconic white gloves, which are in 2 separate pieces. Moving on to the chest armor, we have his iconic white and tannish center with his shoulder pads. Moving on to runner A2, we have the parts for his face and neck, the tops of his gloves, which are also in 2 separate pieces, the back portion of his white armor. We also have the tops and tips for the boots and the bottom to complete his iconic boots. We also have the whites for his eyes. Moving on to runner B1, this is where we have his arm assembly and back portion. Moving on to B2, this is the final portion that comprises of the lower half for his legs. Moving on to the instruction manual, Bandai has done a very good job illustrating the step-by-step process to making this kit with a good number order from head, body, and arms and leg sections. This makes it a very easy kit to build for any newbie modeler. As we can see, the Prince of Sands hasn't let us down with this wonderful kit. This is, again, a really simple kit for any of those who are a big anime, especially a Dragon Ball Z fan from, the series Dragon Ball Z. Super, technically. So this is a very fun kit to build, and this is a really good, simple kit for anyone that wants to get into modeling that is perfect for this upcoming Christmas season. Next up, we have to catch 'em all with Bandai's Eevees, and this is a twofer. As you can see, we have one small one that is in a sleeping position, and then we have a super-sized Eevee right here. So without further ado, let's take a look at these Eevees that you can put under your tree. We're going to start off with the sleeping Eevee. As we can see, Bandai again does a very phenomenal job with its colored parts, making it very easy for assembly. Additionally, there are only 2 runners that make up this kit and a set of decals. Starting on stencil A, we have the iconic white Ploof for its tail and collar, and this is where we also have the top and bottom portions of the torso. Next, on A2, we have the face, ears, and the end poofs for its tails. We also have its front paws and its face for the black eyes and nose. The unique thing about this kit is that it does not come with a standard sheet instructions, but the instructions are actually inside the box. As we can see on the inside of this kit, Bandai has done another phenomenal job with its colored parts, making assembly very easy for us without major painting. Let us start with Runner A. This is where we have a portion of the face, ears, and added detail for the eyes. Moving on to Runner B, this is where we have the head assembly, which is in 2 pieces, along with the torso, which is also in 2 separate pieces. On Runner C1, this is where we have the tail assembly, which is in 2 separate parts. On C2, this is where Bandai gives us a unique texture with a squishy PVC parts for the tongue and back of the paws for this Eevee model. Moving on to D1 and D2, these parts comprise of the ears, front and back paws. Moving on to Runner E1, we have the assembly pieces for the iconic Ploof around Eevee's neck. Additionally, on Runner E2, we have the final assembly parts for the Ploof around his neck, as well as the tip of his tail. We also find his eyes on this runner. This model also comes with a small little sheet of stickers for added detail for the eyes and mouth. Moving on to the instruction manual, Bandai has actually done a pretty cool thing with this particular kit, and it gives us a Pokédex data sheet for the Eevee, which gives us the number, type, and a brief synopsis of Eevee itself. Moving on to the actual instructions, it gives us again a nice step-by-step number order on how to properly assemble this kit, making it very easy to follow, and it is not that intimidating with very little parts needed to make this kit. These were really cool Bandai kits of the Pokemon Eevee. These will be really good presents for any beginner modeler, especially anyone that loves collecting Pokemon. This is a fun way of getting them into the modeling of these, and there are several other Pokemon such as Pikachu, Charmander, and a whole bunch of other cool ones that are always coming out, making it really, you gotta catch them all, a whole new meaning with the Pokemon franchise. But these were really good Bandai kits, and really good presents for anyone that wants to start collecting Pokemon. Alright, time to finish this in a galaxy far, far away, and we have the perfect aircraft to get us there, and that is Star Wars X-Wing fighters. The ones that we have here is Poe's X-Wing and Blue Squadron's X-Wing fighter. Since these kits are basically roughly the same kits, we'll just dive into one of these because roughly the parts are all going to be about the same. So let's take a look at Poe's X-Wing fighter. As we can again see, Bandai has done a really good job with its colored parts on this kit. As we can see, there is a lot of actual parts with this. So this kit is not necessarily meant for beginner modelers. To a degree, this will require possibly nippers and possibly painting certain parts to get it to be more realistic. But overall, this kit does a very fine job with giving us a fairly good amount of detail. Starting off with Runner A, we have the bottom portion of the fuselage, along with the top portion, air intakes, and bucket for the seat. We also see the top part of the canopy, which are comprised of two pieces, possibly giving us the ability to have it opened or closed. And we also have the nose portion and back portion of the aircraft. Moving on to Runner B, we have the assembly portions for the wings and added details when the wings are in the X position. We also have additional flaps and panels to give us more detail with the wings. Additionally, we have the assembly for the 4 proton blasters that makes this iconic aircraft. Moving on to Runner C, we have the parts for the canopy, landing gear, and jet nozzles, along with other mechanical parts. Stencil D, we have a lot of similar parts to Stencil A, but all in orange, to give us the iconic orange paint scheme from Poe's X-Wing fighter. Finally, looking at Runner E1, we have the assembly parts for the sides, wings, and bottom fuselage of Poe's X-Wing fighter. Bandai also includes a stand to put the completed X-Wing fighter on for display. Bandai has done a really cool job with tailoring to both new and veteran modelers by giving us 2 different identical decal sheets, one being water slide and standard stickers, giving us a good range of possibility for any new and advanced modelers, which you don't really see very often in Bandai kits. So this is a very cool feature. Moving on to the instruction manual, we actually see that it is more of a traditional instruction manual where it is more black and white. So you would have to follow the parts layout very, very carefully and identify what parts and pieces you need for each section. But overall, it does give you a section by section on each page for this model, making it fairly easy for even a novice modeler to build. As you can see, these were really cool kits, but a little bit more on the advanced side, so I would basically recommend for a little bit older, about 13 to 14 years old for these. They're highly detailed, but they will take a little bit of time, but are great models for any modeler that's a huge Star Wars fan. Very easy assembly, and what they've added either decal water slides or stickers makes this kit very versatile for new and beginning modelers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I did and got some ideas for this upcoming Christmas, which is only a week away. So if you guys were having any trouble with finding a Christmas present for your kids or your significant other, these were really good kits for any beginner or expert modeler that are interested in pop culture, Star Wars, or in Pokemon or various anime that would love to have these kind of cool little figures and be able to build these fairly quickly and have a cool Christmas present. This has been WAW Product Reviews, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. With a little hint, we're going to Mercury.